Hi folks, Bob Krebs, Sales Manager at Pure Pursuit Automotive, here to show you our newest acquisition this evening, this beautiful 2014 Land Rover Range Rover. This big silver beast is absolutely amazing. This is a 3.0 liter V6 supercharged 340 horsepower engine, and as you can tell from some of the aluminized components here, this vehicle, which is fourth generation Range Rover, is over 750 pounds lighter because of those aluminum components that have been added to this vehicle. Looking down toward the front here, you can see the Land Rover badging here, insignia. And you got a large, massive grille here. You've got cameras up front here. You've got additional headlighting. Okay, we've got the adaptive LED headlights up here. And of course, those are really beautiful because when those pop on, as you'll see in some of the demonstration we've got here, they're very distinctive and they're very bright and they're fantastic for the road. Moving on back here, we've got 20-inch alloy wheels, absolutely beautiful, particularly against this silver metallic color here. We've got front and rear vented disc brakes, and the vehicle's got adjustable ground clearance as well, which we'll give you a demonstration of when we're in the vehicle here in just a little bit. And of course, you've got underneath side here, you've got cameras also that show you as you're driving the bottom of the vehicle here so that you're aware of any type of obstacles that you may be running into here. Beautiful, beautiful interior here. Black with Meridian premium stereo system inside. The seats here, oh my gosh, so comfortable for people in the front and the back. You've got lots of space. Beautiful interior here, which we'll get into in just a second with a panoramic roof. Backside here in the passenger compartment and the rear compartment here for your passengers. Got a lot of space back here. You've got a pass-through interior here on this side, and you've got dual controls here in the back for the air conditioning unit and the heating unit. Moving around to the back of the vehicle here, you've got a lot of space. This is completely open here that you can put a lot of things in, from golf bags to grocery or whatever you decide to put in here. You've also got a full-size spare in here, and of course you've got an additional 12-volt adapter back here for your electronic equipment. And this tailgate also here operates remotely and independently of the top, and you can go ahead and put this up as well. This makes it a lot easier just to put things in as you need to. And of course, when you're done with this, it's just got the single release here where you can touch that, and if you've got your hands full, that will close automatically and you're set to go. Back here, got your Range Rover badging again, silver, and of course that silver metallic color as well. You got your cameras back here so that when you get ready to back up, you've got plenty of things showing you where you're at and objects that you might run into or back into. And if you move over here, you see the little badging right here that says HSE. That stands for High Specification Equipment. That means it's got everything in this vehicle that you could possibly imagine that we'll get to talking about the inside. So it's warmed up now, and we'll go ahead and hop in and you can see how it sounds from the outside. First of all, I love the beautiful black interior of this particular vehicle. That, along with the aluminum accents it's got, the brushed aluminum, really make for a kind of a really sporty cockpit here. We'll go ahead and start from the left of the vehicle here. First, you can see the mirrors on the outside, which fold in as well. And they've got cameras underneath them so that you can see both the interior the exterior of the vehicle right below the mirrors in those areas of the vehicle. You can also set the seat in 3 different memory positions so that way if the driver and the passenger are different heights or different comfort levels, you can set those as well. Really cool polished aluminum down here to get inside and outside of the car door. You've got some panels here again to put things in your door, whether it be some papers, wallet, change, or your cell phone. It certainly fits in there. Going to the center of the cockpit here and the driver area, of course you got this beautiful steering wheel here with the again the dark accents here, the black kind of obsidian color, and then you got the leather here, which is really super grippy here. You got your paddle shifters here, and of course your controls that you've got here as well, some which are redundant to the center console, but you can control and set your cruise control from this side here as well, and cancel that. You can utilize your Bluetooth and your cell phone, setting that up from here. The menu controlling the radio and those controls as well. The center console here has got a digital display, which is very unique, a little bit interesting to get used to because all of these dials right here are electronic. And just to kind of give you an idea, you can see that when you rev that up, the tachometer on the left there, that is a digital image that's projected onto that. So from the left, you've got your tachometer. In the center, you've got several different displays here. It gives you the time, the temperature outside, and of course it gives you the radio stations and the information you wish to display there. And on the right side is the speedometer. Moving over toward the center of the console here, you've got your information center here, which is really fantastic. You've got a lot of selections here. Starting with the setup here, you can set this up to however you wish it, the screen to appear from the screensaver you want, your vehicle, the image, whatever you wish, setting that up for yourself. Going back to the home menu, you've got your audio settings here, and of course this is for your radio, your stereo. You can set the balance, the fade, etc. And of course this is a beautiful premium Meridian system with Dolby as well. And you can set that for surround sound, the treble, the bass, the subwoofers, etc. All to be set from here manual. And of course you can control the sound from the left side here as well. You can also utilize that for your DVD player. Going to the navigation system, again, you've got a myriad of different functions.
When you join the highlighted route.
Thank you. A myriad of different functions that this will be able to put you together for. So you can set your trips, you can measure your distance. Obviously, it gives you your current location, and then you can set that for pretty much anything that you want, where you're going, trips, etc. So your phone system, you can set your Bluetooth up here as well. As soon as you get in, you can basically have that search your phone and incorporate your phone into this so that you can utilize the phone through the stereo system of the vehicle itself. So it's also got several different other functions here you've got as well, and that includes the extras here. And we'll go ahead and start with climate control. You can go ahead and set your climate control from syncing your seats up to the warmth of the seat to the cooling of the seats. Front seats, rear climate control, climate off, etc. And of course you can go to the next function here. In this particular case, the cameras. You can set the myriad of cameras that you've got here to pretty much any setting you want. You've got the rear camera, both side front cameras, and then of course the cameras here on each side. These are the cameras that are underneath both of the mirrors, so that way you can see the objects that are underneath you, and whether that is terrain, whether that's rocky, ground material, etc. And then your front two cameras you can see displayed here, which give you an idea what's just to the left of the front of the vehicle and just to the right of the front of the vehicle, so that way you don't run into any issues whether you're trying to drive or get into that. So it gives you proximity views of these, and this gives you a little bit better idea as well. Special views, again, this is your, in this particular case, you got what's called trailer view. That's from the back. And then of course you got your junction view, which is both of the sides up here, which we just discussed a moment ago. And then of course you got the curb mode as well, which is right underneath the camera. So, and that gives you an idea. We'll go ahead and back up for here just a second. That way you can see directly underneath that as we move through here. And these are the cameras. You can see directly on both sides of the mirrors here what you're driving into or over, so that way you have a general idea. At any rate, I think we've covered that enough. It has got a myriad, again, of cameras, camera functions and areas it goes to. So again, back onto the extra features again here. You've even got eco data for the vehicle itself. It gives you the average miles per gallon, the type of driving style, the last 3 journeys. It gives you tips for driving that are going to help you get better fuel economy, etc. You can even set your driving style as far as the type of driving style you wish the vehicle to follow, and it also gives you an idea of how you have been driving, from the throttle usage, the speed of the engine, and of course your braking. Center console here, again, as we move down, you've got your DVD and CD player right here, and then you have your climate controls, which are for the driver and for the passenger both. You can set that redundantly of each of these to where the driver can have a, let's say, a lower temperature, a little bit more cooler, and the passenger can have that a little bit higher if they so desire. Either way you can do that, or you can sync both of them up. Going here to the center rotary control, this is a really fantastic unit here. Kind of reminiscent of its Jaguar friends, is that the rotary dial here pops up as soon as you start the vehicle and closes when you close the vehicle, so that way there's nothing in the center surface here that is going to get in the way. So when you start the vehicle, this will automatically pop up here and then give you the option to be able to move that into each of those desired methods that you're going to set the car into. So, and while I'm saying that, we'll go ahead and flip down here to the Range Rover settings that you've got for any type of off-road that you may be doing. In this particular case, just to make it a little bit easier here, you can set this to auto, which basically chooses for you which it feels is the most desirable method to drive the vehicle in. And that takes into account the weather, the type of terrain it's sensing outside, or if indeed you decide that you wish to decide what to put this into. And here you have the normal driving mode here, or you can move that up to what's called grass, gravel, or snow. And obviously that gives you a little bit more control of the vehicle on slippery surfaces. And then the next one is going to be mud or ruts when you're driving the vehicle into that. And it's got some anti-slip there as well. And basically feels out the terrain as you're driving through it to be able to compensate most accurately. The next one's going to be in sand, and that particular method here gives you an idea that as you're out there, you're going to have sometimes a little bit more slip. So it tends to grip that and sends that grip to each of those. It power vectors that to each of those wheels as you're moving through it. And then this one's rock crawl here, and this is on if you decide that you're going to go four-wheeling in a very mountainous or rocky area where you may not have the most stable ride. So you can set that up for that as well. So, or you can just put it in auto and it will go ahead and select that for you. You've got a couple of other high and low here for the vehicle. You can select, you can put this into neutral to select whichever one of these you want, whether it be putting the vehicle in low range. And when you do that, it also selects the height of the vehicle. And we'll show you that. Sitting inside the vehicle right now, you can actually hear the vehicle adjusting the ride and the shocks and the suspension for that. Press it again, you can take the HTC off, or you can select high range in this particular case. So again, I think it's up to the individual driver where they want to put it and where they're most comfortable. Moving down here, you've got your traction control, and you can turn that either on or off, so that way if you're on slippery surfaces or a terrain that you think is going to be more challenging, you can obviously put it into that. And then of course this is the vehicle, this lowers the cab and the chassis of the vehicle or heightens it and puts it at the specific height that you either want it at or that it finds is most desired. So, and we'll show you some outside shots of that. And moving up here, we've got a beverage holder and slash cigarette lighter if you so desire. It also doubles as a 12-volt connector here, so you can hook up your electronic equipment to that. And then once you're done, just press it that once up, it shuts automatically. You got your parking brake over here, and of course putting your foot on the brake once, and you can put the parking brake on by pulling that up and put your foot on the brake again and push it down and depress it, takes the parking brake off. You got a center console here which allows you some space to be able to put some storage in here. You can put a cell phone here. You got a USB port. You've got an auxiliary cord here, and again you've got another 12-volt adapter here you can utilize to put a cord in. And a very unique feature, and that is a little mini refrigerator down here. You can adjust this steering wheel as well, also up, down, and push it in, bring it out, or down as well. So let's move to the top of the vehicle here. It's got a very, very unique feature here, and that is the panoramic roof. This thing is huge. Right now I have the screen over here. It's a cloth screen that essentially keeps ultraviolet waves out, rays out, and of course it gives you a really nice interior shadowing effect as well that keeps the sun out. So when you want that open, you just press that once and that will open fully, or you can stop it at any place that you want for you to be able to control that. That does go all the way back, and again, as I said, you got a huge panoramic roof here. We'll go ahead and open that pano roof. It's got a one touch to it to where you can open it, hit it once, and it opens up just that tip part, or if you press it the rest of the way, the pano roof opens, and of course you got your little air baffle up front as where here keeps that whistle out of it. And of course once that's open, you got a huge amount of space up here for a moonroof or a sunroof. It's kind of like having a convertible. Speaking of all that, getting ourselves ready for this, we're going to go ahead and take it out now, and we've got a couple of surprises to show you before the end of the night too, so we'll take off. Hey folks, I promised you a little surprise here, and I think this is going to be not only very surprising, but it's something that you can use every day. I know a lot of folks, when they parallel park or they think about parallel parking, it's kind of a pain because you're always worried about damaging your vehicle, someone else's vehicle, and not only that, but trying to find a space. So this vehicle has a parking assist that is beyond belief. So we're going to go ahead and demonstrate it now. I'm coming up here on a parking spot here that I can see, and so what I'm going to do is, let's say I'm downtown and I decide that I'm going to go ahead and park here. I go ahead and hit the parking assist here. What that will do is it's now going to take a look. It now knows that I'm in a position to go ahead and park. So I'm going to go ahead and it tells me exactly what to do. It says select R, which is reversed, and await next instruction. I'm going to put this in R, and as you see, my hands are completely off the wheel right now. Okay, it says reverse with care, which means all I'm going to do is I'm going to use the accelerator to bring the vehicle back. It is going to do everything else, and I promise I will not touch the wheel. Again, it gives you the full rear view area there of the vehicle it's coming in touch with or coming up on. It will also warn you when to stop, and now it's saying stop. It's saying select D, which is drive, obviously. It's going to go ahead and park me here. I'm going to go ahead and drive forward. And when I'm close enough on the front here to go ahead and stop, it's going to tell me when to do that as well. And it said stop, park assist is finished. And we're now parked, and I didn't touch the steering wheel. All I did was keep my foot on the brake and my foot on the accelerator. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is called Park Assist in the Land Rover Range Rover, and it is fantastic. Anybody can do this. Again, we have our rotary shifter here, which is just fantastic, real easy to utilize. And of course, what I love is you can see the reflection in our garage door there, and that's those beautiful headlights of this thing. So they are really cool, and they really work. So we're going to go ahead and back up now. As you can see from the rear mirror here and the view of the back cameras, that we're heading backwards here, and of course it gives you the most optimal way that you should head as you're backing up. And once you put it in drive again, we're forward facing and we're good to go. All right, the other unique feature of this vehicle is the lift height that it's got for the body of the vehicle, so that way you can adjust that height, so when you're going off the road or four-wheeling, that it automatically adjusts as well, so that the tire height will enable you to go past obstacles, rocks, etc. So we'll go ahead and demonstrate that now. You've got cameras on the outside that are going to take a look at that. First, we're going to go down just to the first level, and that takes us from the highest height down to kind of a medium height. And then we'll lower it one more time. That takes it all the way down to kind of what I would call city driving height. Okay, we'll go ahead and put this thing in gear and take it for a bit of a drive here. This thing, I absolutely love this Range Rover because it's got so many features to it that it's a city car, it's an off-road car. You could take this thing to Moab, Utah and climb hills with it if you want, or you can drive to Nordstrom's to get a new pair of shoes. So we'll go ahead and give you a couple of ideas here of what it's like on some straightaways, some hills, and kind of some general around town driving with it. So again, this thing is quiet. You can barely hear the engine running in it. I think the thing might be made out of butter, but it is a supercharged V6 engine. Don't be fooled. So I'll give you a little bit of an idea of the acceleration on this right now. So fantastic. Gets you where you want to go. It gets there quickly. The shifting is immaculate, clean, sharp, not jerky, just pretty much perfect. The vehicle, it drives like a dream. And again, you've got lots of room, you've got lots of space here. The vehicle itself has so many amenities to it that it would take almost probably several days to several weeks to learn all of the things that you have to be able to utilize in this vehicle, both from a creature comfort level to a technology level to just a general driving level. So I'm also going to give you an idea of what this thing's like when you utilize the paddle shifter. So in this particular case, it's an automatic, but when I go to paddle shifters on this, what that does with the vehicle is that puts it in the mode to where I can turn it from an automatic into a manual vehicle with the paddles. The left is going to be down and the right's going to be upshift. So it's also got the start-stop mode to it, so that when you pull up the lights and things like that, if you're there more than a couple of seconds, the vehicle goes ahead and shuts off so you can save it. So all you have to do is just give it a quick touch of the accelerator and you're ready to go. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll downshift this thing and take it down into first gear and give you a little bit of an idea what the paddle shifters do. So there's first, there's second, there's third, and so forth and so on. And of course, then you can just shift it back into automatic mode and the vehicle shifts normally and on its own because it knows exactly where to shift. So again, this thing has got all kinds of amenities to it. It's a fantastic vehicle to drive. The stereo system in it is fantastic. And again, depending on what kind of music you like to listen to, whether it's all-out rock or classic or rap or whatever you decide is your kind of music, the Meridian stereo system that's in this vehicle is absolutely premium and it sounds great. And again, the interior of the vehicle, it's like you're in an opera house when you're listening to music in this thing. It's perfect. I'm going to go ahead and turn the vehicle around down here so you have a general idea of kind of the torsion of this thing and how quickly it maneuvers and moves around. I'm just going to take a quick drive through a little area here so you have an idea of that. Again, this thing is very, very nimble. It is so super sporty. At the same time, though, it's a great vehicle to have your family in. It's one that makes it real easy to take trips on because it's got a lot of space in the back to put all of your items you wish to take with you camping. And at the same time, it gets up and goes when you're ready to go. So it is no slouch in that area. I think another thing about this vehicle that is really fantastic is the fact that it's big, but it's not overly big. It gives you the kind of room that you need to be able to do what you need to do, but at the same time when you're driving it, it's really, really sporty. And there's a lot of headroom. I'm 6'5", and there's a lot of space between my head and the roof of this car. And there's lots of room on the interior here. My elbows aren't touching anything. I have plenty of room in the seat here. The seat's 12-way, adjustable, and this thing is driving like a dream. And it's going to drive like a dream for you as well. So what I ask is if you're ready to make the move to a Land Rover, which I'm sure you are, you can reach me anytime at Pure Pursuit Automotive at area code 816-659-3027. Give me a call today, and I'll take you for a test drive in this thing, and then you can take it home. So thanks a lot for riding with us today. I appreciate it, and we will see you all later. Thanks a lot.